Have you ever wondered where all the plastic goes? Most of it ends up in the oceans, suffocating marine life. Every year, millions of tons of plastic flood the seas. It's a silent killer lurking beneath the waves. But where does this plastic come from? Single-use plastics are among the most common culprits. Straws, bottles, bags, discarded and forgotten. These plastic items take hundreds of years to break down. While they degrade, they don't disappear entirely. Instead, they break into smaller pieces called microplastics. These microplastics are even harder to remove from water, and they don't just float on the surface. They sink too. With each passing day, the problem grows worse. Scientists estimate that over 8 million tons of plastic enter oceans annually. This staggering amount is poisoning our marine ecosystems. But the impact is not just visual, it's deadly. Marine species, from tiny plankton to giant whales, are suffering. How does plastic pollution affect the delicate balance of life? It begins with ingestion. Fish, turtles, and birds mistake plastic for food. They consume plastics in large amounts, often leading to death. Ingested plastics can obstruct digestive systems and block vital organs. This can lead to malnutrition and even starvation. But it's not just ingestion. Plastics also affect reproductive health. Toxins from plastics leach into the water and food chain. These chemicals disrupt the hormonal systems of marine creatures. For example, they can cause deformities in developing fish. The chemicals also impair the immune systems of aquatic animals. This makes them more susceptible to diseases and infections. The effects ripple through the entire food chain. Larger predators eat the contaminated fish, spreading toxins further. By the time the chemicals reach humans, they're almost impossible to avoid. But the impact of plastic pollution doesn't stop at the animals. Plastics disrupt entire ecosystems. Coral reefs, vital to marine biodiversity, are also at risk. Plastics smother corals, blocking sunlight and reducing oxygen levels. This weakens the corals, making them more vulnerable to disease. A collapse in coral health affects every species that relies on them. So, it's clear, plastic pollution is a critical problem. But how can we begin to reverse the damage? Before we can clean up the oceans, we need to stop the flow of plastic. We need to rethink our plastic consumption habits. It starts with reducing single-use plastics in our daily lives. Every small action contributes to the bigger solution. The next step is awareness, spreading the message far and wide. The effects of plastic pollution on marine species are alarming. Sea turtles, for instance, mistake floating plastic bags for jellyfish. When they swallow these bags, it can be fatal. Studies show that nearly 50% of sea turtles have ingested plastic. Turtles are not alone. Dolphins, whales, and seals are also affected. These majestic creatures are suffering from the toxins in plastics. Whales especially ingest plastic during their feeding migrations. As they dive deep to filter food from the water, plastics enter their stomachs. Plastic accumulation can lead to malnutrition in these animals. Some whales are found with entire bags and fishing nets in their stomachs. These plastics not only block digestion, but also introduce harmful chemicals. These chemicals interfere with whale health, weakening their ability to thrive. In the deep waters, fish species face a similar fate. Small fish, which feed on plankton, are now ingesting microplastics. These plastics find their way up the food chain. Larger fish eat the smaller, contaminated ones, further spreading the toxins. This contamination disrupts the reproductive systems of many fish. Some fish species experience reduced fertility and abnormal growth. It's not just the adults affected. Larvae and juveniles are vulnerable too. The toxic impact on fish populations disrupts the entire marine ecosystem. Jellyfish, which are central to the ocean's food web, also suffer. They often mistake microplastics for their natural food. This causes a reduction in jellyfish populations and affects their predators. The loss of jellyfish could lead to a shift in the balance of marine life. It's not just the animals who suffer. Coral reefs are also heavily impacted. Coral reefs are the lifeblood of marine biodiversity. When plastic debris smothers coral reefs, it reduces light penetration. Without sunlight, corals can't photosynthesize, weakening their structures. This puts the many species that rely on coral reefs at risk. It's a tragic cycle. Plastic pollution damages coral, which harms marine life. What many don't realize is that plastics act as toxins. As plastics degrade, they release chemicals like BPA and phthalates. These chemicals affect marine animals at a cellular level. They can interfere with growth, reproduction, and immune functions. Microplastics can even penetrate into the tissues of marine creatures. The ingestion of microplastics has been linked to cancers in some fish. Even creatures at the deepest ocean levels are not immune to plastic. The Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, is not spared. Researchers have found microplastics at depths of over 10,000 meters. These plastics are slowly suffocating marine life, even in the most remote areas. The magnitude of the damage is so vast it threatens aquatic biodiversity. The effects of plastic pollution will echo through generations. We may never fully understand the long-term consequences of this damage. What is clear, however, is the urgency to act before it's too late. The time to make a change is now, before more species disappear. While the ocean is suffering, humans are also facing consequences. We are directly connected to the health of our oceans. Many of the fish and seafood we consume are contaminated with plastics. This means we are ingesting microplastics as part of our diet. Studies have shown that microplastics are now found in human bloodstreams. The presence of these plastics could pose long-term health risks. They may disrupt our immune systems and hormonal balance. The chemicals in plastics are also linked to developmental issues in children. As plastics accumulate in the oceans, the risks to human health increase. But the connection between human actions and plastic pollution is undeniable. Humans are the ones creating this plastic waste in the first place. Every plastic bottle, straw, or bag discarded adds to the ocean's burden. The first step in tackling the problem is reducing plastic production. We must shift away from single-use plastics and embrace sustainable alternatives. This means investing in biodegradable materials and reusable products. Governments can play a key role by regulating plastic production. Bans on certain plastics, such as straws and plastic bags, can help. Policies that encourage recycling and waste management are also essential. Recycling, however, is not enough on its own. We need to reduce plastic consumption at its source. A global movement to stop plastic production must be embraced. Businesses must transition to packaging that is both eco-friendly and reusable. Consumers, too, need to take responsibility by making mindful purchases. Supporting brands that prioritize sustainability is a powerful tool. However, individuals cannot bear the responsibility alone. Global cooperation is needed to stop plastic pollution in its tracks. Collaboration between governments, businesses, and communities is key. Additionally, we need more effective waste management systems worldwide. Many countries lack the infrastructure to manage plastic waste properly. Better recycling programs and waste-to-energy technologies could solve this. Innovative solutions like plastic-eating bacteria and fungi are emerging. These organisms can break down plastic into non-toxic substances. However, these technologies are still in early stages of development. We must invest in research to improve these solutions. The creation of ocean cleaning technologies, like the Ocean Cleanup Project, is promising. The Ocean Cleanup aims to remove plastics from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. While these technologies show great promise, we need to act faster. Educating the public on the dangers of plastic pollution is crucial. Awareness campaigns can encourage people to reduce their plastic usage. Local communities can organize beach cleanups to help remove plastic waste. It's essential to support policies that protect marine ecosystems. Marine protected areas help preserve aquatic life and combat plastic pollution. By banning plastic waste near sensitive marine environments, we can help. Supporting these efforts can prevent further destruction of ocean habitats. The fight against plastic pollution is not just about saving the ocean, it's about saving ourselves. The situation may seem overwhelming, but there is hope. Every individual action, no matter how small, adds up. If each of us makes the conscious choice to reduce plastic use, we can make a difference. It's time to take collective responsibility for the planet we share. Simple changes, like using reusable bags or bottles, can have a big impact. Supporting businesses that use sustainable packaging is another way forward. But these personal choices need to be backed by systemic change. Governments must implement stricter laws to curb plastic production. Only by reducing the amount of plastic we produce can we create real change. It's essential to push for policies that make plastic alternatives more accessible. In addition, supporting the development of biodegradable plastics is key. These plastics break down naturally, reducing long-term harm to the environment. We also need to work on improving the efficiency of recycling systems. The current recycling systems are underperforming and need significant improvements. More investment in waste management and plastic waste sorting technology is crucial. Public awareness is just as important as policy changes. By educating the next generation, we can foster a culture of sustainability. Teaching children about the importance of reducing plastic use will have lasting effects. We must change the mindset that plastic is disposable and harmless. Creating a plastic-free future requires us to rethink our entire relationship with plastic. Industries need to adopt a circular economy model. This means products are designed to be reused, repaired, and recycled. Circular economies drastically reduce the need for new plastic production. Public-private partnerships can accelerate the implementation of circular economies. For example, businesses can collaborate with non-profits to clean up plastic waste. Organizations like Greenpeace and Plastic Pollution Coalition are leading the charge. Supporting their work can help create a large-scale solution to the problem. Governments should incentivize these partnerships with tax breaks and grants. Collaboration at every level is needed to stop plastic from reaching our oceans. We must also hold major plastic-producing corporations accountable. These companies contribute massively to global plastic pollution. Consumer pressure can push corporations to adopt more sustainable practices. A strong, united global movement will make plastic pollution history. Together, we can create a cleaner, healthier ocean for future generations. The oceans are vital for life on Earth, and they need our protection. As stewards of the planet, it is our duty to restore the balance. We have the tools, the technology, and the know-how to combat plastic pollution. What's missing is the collective will to act decisively and urgently. By working together, we can make a world where plastic doesn't harm our oceans. Let's leave a legacy of clean oceans, thriving marine life, and healthy ecosystems. We can end the cycle of plastic pollution if we all take action. The oceans are calling for help, and it's time we answered. The future of aquatic life depends on the choices we make today. Will you join the fight to protect our oceans and their creatures? The change starts with you, and together we can make a world free from plastic pollution.